I recently visited the 3D Printopia event in Bel Air, Maryland, and checked out the 3D printing projects from the community. From tiny belt printers to a giant multi-tool polar printer and an open source MSLA machine with smart features. In this video, I'll show you 6 unique 3D printers that are very different from conventional concepts. So stay tuned here at JanTec Engineering. 3D Printopia, also known as the East Coast Wrap-Up Festival, takes place annually at the Harford Community College in Bel Air, Maryland, United States. For the trip, I met up with Hendrik from the Electroplating 3D Prints channel. The days before and after the event, we explored part of the East Coast from Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. to Annapolis. I also exhibited a few of my projects at Hendrik's booth and was able to meet a few of you, which made me very happy. But now let's take a look at the exciting 3D printers I found at the event. I'd like to start with the booth from Carl, aka Nack 3D Designs. You might know his White Knight open source belt printer. This year, however, he brought something different, a tuned and upgraded old VoRinci printer. For this, Carl adapted the kinematics of the Voron trident to the frame of the Da Vinci printer, which also gave the project its name, VoRinci. Unfortunately, only a few parts of the original printer can be reused. The bed, for example, is custom milled and even the motors had to be replaced. At least the existing closed housing can be reused, which can be really worth it when you consider that an aluminum frame and cut acrylic sheets can cost several $100s. I really like the new kinematics and the modern clipper interface in the retro case, and the print quality was also quite good. The files for the upgrade will be released open source soon, and this time Carl used Fusion 360. That's great because his White Knight belt printer was designed completely in Microsoft 3D Builder. Another highlight of the event was the Prometheus, an open source MSLA printer. The team behind the project, called Shop, developed not only the mechanical construction but also their own controller board, as well as the front and back end for Clipper firmware. The user interface made a very good impression on me and seems to be notable for its modern design and high degree of customizability. Some of the features are particularly exciting and rarely seen in conventional SLA printers. For example, the build platform has integrated load cells to detect when the surface touches the resin or whether the print still adheres to the plate. I also really liked the demo in which the measured force was plotted on a small display. Another exciting detail is that the Prometheus consists of many 3D printed parts and off-the-shelf components, making it customizable and upgradable. Even the size of the printer can be chosen. Modular, individualized solutions like this are really rare for SLA machines, which is what makes this printer so interesting. At the LDO Motors booth, in addition to the usual Voron machines, there were several Positron printers. The Positron is an open source project started by Kraylin 3D that now has a whole team behind it. The core feature is the compact design and an impressive print volume to total size ratio. This is also the reason why it prints upside down. The Positron is so compact that it can be fitted into a filament box, perfect for printing on the go or at exhibitions. At the event, some people even walked around with this printer on a backpack. Positron relies on a few custom-made parts, such as a triangular control board that makes optimal use of the limited space in the printer. The transparent, heated print bed is also exciting. This allows to observe the first layer of the print from above. Another highlight is the right-angled hot end. This special design is much more compact and also provides a larger heating surface. Using this large model, I was told that the hot end has high flow properties due to the larger surface area and that the material does not drain out of the nozzle by gravity as it usually does. Even in the hotel lobby after the event, I saw some people working on their positrons, which motivated me to build one myself. LDO offers a kit for this, you can find a link in the description. Siraya Tech had some very exciting engineering filaments on display at their booth. I met the founder, Mark, at the Rocky Mountain Wrap-Up Festival in April. He gave a very interesting talk about safety and 3D printing at 3D Printopia and cleared up some misconceptions. Siraya Tech was kind enough to sponsor part of my trip to this event. Some of you may know their resins for SLA printers. What many don't know is that they also offer a range of engineering filaments for FDM printing. At the booth, they showed ASA-GF, PAH-TCF, PETCF, and a flexible TPU-85A. The materials promise very good mechanical properties and are offered at good prices. The example prints convinced me both visually and in terms of strength. Mark also gave me a very exciting filament that consists of a normal plastic on the outside and has a core with 25% carbon fibers on the inside. It promises max rigidity, better layer adhesion, and isolates the fibers from the outside. This makes the printed parts safer as you don't get fibers in your skin when touching them. If you don't want to miss the test of this filament, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Next up, the table from Printcepts, where these small belt printers were displayed. The project, called Babybelt, was started by Rob Mink. Meanwhile, there's a Pro version, which was shown at the booth. The main goals when developing the printer were to keep it as simple, inexpensive, and compact as possible. To achieve this, many 3D printed parts are used. The motors are really tiny. Here's my maker chip with a diameter of 40mm for reference. If you're wondering why the belt has such designs, that's because it's made of cotton fabric. To do this, any fabric is simply ironed onto a patch to create an endless connected piece. At first, the Babybelt printers seemed a bit fragile to me. The quality of the printed parts was very good though, better than I would have expected, to be honest. The biggest advantage of this design is, of course, that you can print parts of infinite length despite a small area. More information about the project can be found on GitHub, link in the video description. Let's stay at Rob's booth, where another exciting belt printer was displayed. In this case, the Voron Flying Gantry provides the base for the motion system. It has been modified so that it can be tilted up to 45 degrees. As a result, the printer offers a wide range of options. On the one hand, it can be used as a normal Core XY printer, except that the printed parts can be automatically ejected from the belt after printing. This makes fully automated mass production possible. In addition, the printer can be used as a typical conveyor belt printer with an infinite Z length. The printing angle can be adjusted as required up to 45 degrees. This makes non-planar printing possible. At the booth, both methods were combined in one G-code, with the printer switching between normal Core XY and 45-degree belt printing. Even though the prints here have a significant layer shift, I still think this is a very exciting concept. Would you build a printer like this? And if so, what would you print with it? Let me know in the comments. And now for the last printer in this video, the Quadrupolar Express. You may have seen it before because it was built by Nathan from the YouTube channel Nathan Builds Robots. As the name suggests, it does not work with Cartesian coordinates, but with polar coordinates, in which each point in a cylindrical space is uniquely defined by a radius, angle, and height. The circular print bed rotates for this purpose. By the way, the heating elements and sensors are connected via slip contacts. The printer has 4 independent arms, which makes multi-material printing or printing 4 objects simultaneously possible. You can find a detailed video about this project on Nathan's channel. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a different kind of content, which is why I would appreciate some feedback from you in the comments. Also, let me know which event you'd like me to attend next. Here you can subscribe to the channel and check out more videos.